Let's be honest, the number one reason why people are a little concerned about moving to Los Angeles is the cost of living. It is expensive here. There's no sugarcoating it. And in fact, it's only gotten worse in the last couple of years. Now, we're not the most expensive place to live in the country, but we're getting pretty close. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you the true cost of living from daycare, utilities, gas prices, food, insurance, and of course, everyone's number one concern, housing. You're not going to want to miss this, so make sure you stay tuned. What's up everyone, this is Dave Fine here with the Real Estate Dads right here in Los Angeles. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel if you've been here before. If you want to know everything there is to know about Los Angeles, well, you've come to the right channel. We do tons of videos of what it's like to live, play, work, and just have fun right here in LA. So make sure you tap the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified every single time we drop a new video. And honestly, we are getting tons of phone calls, emails, and texts from people like yourselves thinking about moving or relocating here. So if you are thinking about making that move, make sure you reach out to us, however which way you want, phone, text, email, DM, and we've got your back when moving to Los Angeles. Oh my God, it is expensive here in Los Angeles. Our overall cost of living here is just through the roof, and as I mentioned before, it just keeps getting worse. Now I'm going to break it down by category so you have an understanding of how it may affect your day-to-day living. So I'm going to start off with gas prices because it's going up everywhere across the country. It's on everyone's mind. We see it in the news, we hear about it, we read about it, we're probably talking about it because every time we fill up that tank, it is astonishing. Now, right now, as of early July of 2022, our average gas price here in Los Angeles is $6.35 a gallon. Yep, $6.35. Now across the country, the average is $4.90, so we are significantly higher than most places. Now there's a number of factors that lead into it, but I don't know about you, it is affecting me greatly. I drive an SUV, I fill about 20 to 22 gallons in my tank. It runs me about $140 every single time I fill the tank, and I'm schlepping the kids everywhere. I've got a family of 4, and my 2 kids are active. I'm taking them to daycare, I'm taking them to school, camp, swim lessons, baseball, art class, and then just family outings. It all adds up. I'm constantly putting gas in the tank, and it is eating up the cash. Now, there's really no way to get around this because we don't have that great of a mass transit system here. If you've seen any of our other videos, you know how much of a car-centric culture we are, how much we love driving, and how much kind of we're forced to drive because we lack a good mass transportation system here. We also sit in traffic, so we're idling, just burning off gas, burning off dollars every single time we're stuck in traffic trying to get from one place to another. So when the gas prices go up, it really affects us here in LA because we don't have much of an alternative. So when you move here, just be prepared that you're going to be paying a lot more in gas, and you're most likely going to be driving a lot more, so you're going to be visiting the gas station more than you have before. Now let's talk utilities. Now, of course, we have great weather here in LA. We've talked about it a lot in our other videos. Unlike other parts of the country, we don't experience freezing temperatures. In fact, it doesn't really get much below 40-ish in the winter anywhere in Los Angeles, and that's in the evening. And we do get some extreme heats in the triple digits, that's for sure, when you're in the San Fernando Valley or parts of the eastern Los Angeles. But for the most part, we're not like Arizona or Texas where you're just baking for half the year or several months at a time. So with that said, utilities aren't probably the AC and heat aren't being used as much here, and we also have a lot of water restrictions here in Los Angeles because we're constantly in a drought, so we're not using water as much. But with that said, I'm going to share you with what my utility bills are. I've got a family of 4 with 2 kids, and during the summers we keep our house at 74. Now that may sound toasty to others, but for us it's comfortable. And our utility bills run, and during the winter I should say, we keep it at around 68. And my gas bills, natural gas, run between $20 a month to $170 a month, depending on the season. It's going to be more expensive during the summer and winter months. And same with our water and power and trash bill. It's all on one if you're with Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, which a lot of LA is. Our LADWP, our power bill, water bill, ranges between $450 to around $600 a month. Now, this will vary depending on your lifestyle and the size of your home. If you have a larger home, that's going to be a lot more expensive. If you have a pool, which is very popular in LA, to run a pool to heat that thing is super expensive, so your bill will be a lot higher. Or if you like your keeping temperatures at different degrees than we do, you'll experience a different bill as well. Now, you could reduce some of these costs by getting solar. It's very popular here in Los Angeles. They have a lot of government incentive programs to invest into solar, and especially if you have a pool, I highly recommend it. Or if you like to, pump the AC a ton or run the heater a ton, I definitely recommend it. Now, with a family of 4, we're constantly doing dishes, constantly running laundry. I feel like we're always doing something where the water's running, but this gives you an idea of where my bills are, and you can relate it to what you're currently paying where you live now, and just be prepared when you come to Los Angeles. Now let's jump into food. I know everyone's waiting for the cost of housing. I'm keeping that one to the end, so you're gonna have to stay tuned. You're not gonna wanna miss that one. So we'll talk about food, and we're going to talk about restaurants. Our groceries are fairly comparable across the country. We're not that much more expensive than the rest of the country. So we are going to talk about restaurants, though, because I feel like we are more expensive than many places. I'll share stories with you from my own personal experience. When you're talking about a casual dining, I've got 2 little kids. I've got a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old. And so we're not going to super high-end restaurants with them. We save that for date night, and I'll share that with you in a minute as far as the cost of 2 people going out to a fine dining. But we'll start off, family of 4 with small kids, casual restaurant. You go to CPK or some sort of place that doesn't require, a suit and a tie. And you're looking at around $60 to $70 with tip. And this is a lot higher than it was just a few years ago. But again, as I mentioned before, gas prices seem to affect everything, and the costs just continue to go up. And so, I'm talking like getting a pizza from somewhere. You get a salad and, maybe a burger, and the kids get their kids' meal. After tip, you're spending around $60 to $70. Now, the crazy thing is, if you order from like DoorDash or Uber Eats or one of those delivery systems, and you go to like fast casual, like a Chipotle or something, that too ran us $60, and that was just for 3 meals. So getting things delivered, again, affected by gas prices, that's super expensive. Now, if you have a chance to go out, you got date night with your significant other, or you don't have kids and you're just having date night constantly, you're going to higher end restaurants. For 2 people, you're talking around $70 with drinks and with tip, fine dining experience. And with Los Angeles, the great thing is we have a plethora of restaurants, anywhere from fast food, fast casual, to fine dining. And we also have food trucks. That's a great option, also really expensive. But just to give you an idea of what it costs my family to eat at a restaurant, now you know, and you can kind of compare it to where you live now. Now let's jump into insurance. We'll talk about car insurance and homeowners insurance. We'll start with car insurance. Now, I didn't realize how much more expensive we were compared to the rest of the country until I spoke to some friends and family about what we pay versus what they pay living elsewhere. So we have 2 cars. We have an SUV and a sedan. They're not old cars. They're not new cars. But we're paying around $4,500 a year for car insurance. Now, I couldn't tell you why it's so much more expensive, other than we probably have a little bit more car theft here. It depends on which zip code you live in Los Angeles. That'll affect your bottom line, also your driving record. But when I'm comparing to people, like my brother lives in Oregon, and he's paying like $1,700 instead of $4,500, and so it's a huge difference when you add it all up. Now, homeowners insurance, I'm paying around $1,800 a year for a 1,500 square foot home. And again, comparing that, my brother was sharing a story in Oregon. He's only paying around $450 a year. And so there's lots of stories I have with family and friends paying much lower prices But just know when you come here, your auto insurance, and again, you're gonna have to have a car, probably 2 of them if you've got a family, and your homeowner's insurance are gonna be significantly higher than where you live now. Okay, we've come to the category everyone's been waiting for, and that is the cost of housing. Probably the #1 factor when making the decision to moving to Los Angeles. No sugarcoating it, Los Angeles is super expensive, one of the most expensive places to buy a home in the country. Now, the reason is we have no space and no inventory. With no space to build homes and no homes on the market, we only have 2 months supply, which means that if no homes hit the market from this day, that it'd only take 2 months to sell all of the homes. That is very low. So when we don't have inventory and there's still a high demand, the prices continue to rise. You may be thinking interest rates have affected us or will create a collapse in the market, and interest rates have jumped up significantly. They've pretty much doubled in the last few months, and I'm not sure how much higher they are going to go. And we're not the highest in history, but for those of you who have not purchased a home in the 80s, where rates were 18% and sometimes higher, this is a big jump, especially for the first-time home buyer and the entry-level homes. But because inventory is so low in Los Angeles, it hasn't put enough pressure on pricing to come down. To give you an idea, with the median home sales price here in Los Angeles is $1.3 million for an 18 square foot home. And if you're thinking about a condo, you're on a median price of $860,000 for a 1,300 square foot condo. These numbers sound crazy when you're coming from many parts of the country. For us here in Los Angeles, it's not normal, but we've kind of been a little bit desensitized for how much housing really is, because we are sometimes in our own little bubble here in Los Angeles. And that's greater LA. When you break down some of the pocket neighborhoods, it can be a lot more expensive. For instance, if you're thinking about moving to a coastal location in Los Angeles, the prices jump even higher. For Santa Monica, for example, very popular place to live, beautiful place to live, but you pay the price. And that's a median price of $4 million for a 3,000 square foot home, or $1.3 million for the price of a condo. 1.3 for a condo in Santa Monica is the same for the median price of buying a single family home in greater Los Angeles, just to give you an idea. A lot more expensive. Now, there are other parts where they're a little bit less. If you go to the San Fernando Valley, if you live in Encino, that's where I live, the prices are a bit different. For a median price of $2.8 million, you get a 3,500 square foot home. And for significantly lower, $470,000 for a condo, you get an 1,100 square foot condo to live in. So it greatly varies depending on what portion of LA. However, the same story holds true everywhere. Housing prices have gone up. We don't see a time where they're going to come down in any significant manner. So be prepared. Make sure you do your homework. You get in touch with a lender. Reach out to us because we're the experts in the field. And if you have any questions, make sure you DM us. We can certainly help you out and answer any questions that you may have about moving to Los Angeles. Cost of living, as I mentioned, it's really expensive. There are a lot more factors. Oh, I will mention one more, daycare, because it rings close to my heart. Again, having a family, you get a bonus one after housing. You got daycare. Again, I'll give you the example for my 4-year-old who's now 5 going to kindergarten. It was running us around $1,300 a month for daycare. And if for our 1-year-old, it's closer to $2,000 a month. So the cost of daycare, again, I know is significantly higher when talking to my friends and family in other parts of the country. So there you have it, cost of living, super expensive to live here. Again, no holding back, giving you the honest truth. We hope you like the video, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified, and we'll see you on the next video.